big hi to everyone. This is the video where we are going to talk about the PTE reading portion and one of the most trickiest and difficult question type, the reorder paragraph. So in this question type, you would be given a couple of paragraphs, not just simple statements, and then you have to keep that in order so that the flow and every assertions, everything makes sense. So before going to one of the examples which we are going to take to discuss and understand how to solve these kind of questions, a quick notion that almost in every exam you will get 2 to 3 such question types, and the time is not something which we can take luxury of, because only 1.5 to 2.5 minutes you'll get it. And for such question type, at times such a small time range is very difficult to work around with because it might be confusing. But we have few tips for you which can actually help you to score maximum in such question type. Okay, let's go to the scoring part. So this is a reading portion where every correct pair of adjacent paragraphs which you marked are being given 1 mark, and no negative marking here, so definitely you are going to make a guess and write the sequence which you think is the paragraphs. But the crucial point here is the pair, and the correct and adjacent pair should be correct. So if it is a 5 to 6 sentences or paragraphs given to you and there are 3 pairs, so you can score up to 3 marks in that. So the pairing should be correct. For example, let's take one such question. So this is an example where there are 5 sentences and phrases, and you have to make a sequence. So in sequence, we try to figure out the first sentence or the last sentence, or the sequence as in, okay, I'm not sure what the first or the last is, but I'm sure that after this particular sentence, this should make sense. So for example, in this question, if we can see, there is a statement about Dr. Barron. He held that there is a link between diet and acne. And after this, if I go rush through all the statements given, I can see that he convinced the professor of the university to set up a study to this matter. So he definitely, sentence A could not be the first sentence of the whole passage because they're talking something about he. But we know that this he actually corresponds to Dr. Barron. So we are very sure that after E, A is coming. Now this is a pair, E, A. So whatever the rest of the sequence is, if you're going to get E and A correct, that means you are scoring 1 mark here. Okay. Similarly, if we move ahead and we see, okay, what next? E and A are done. What is left is B, C, D. Now let's try to find some kind of sequence or the storytelling within these 3 sentences. So professor and his team, some study about women. The women were asked. Okay, now B and C make sense because in B, the professor is talking about 47,000 women in a study, and the same women, they were asked to fill in questionnaire. So B and C together, this is a pair. So if you get B and C together correctly, again 1 mark to you. So we have 2 pairs now, E and A, and then B and C, and then the story goes on, go with the flow. After B and C, D makes sense. No link found between acne, traditionally suspect foods such as chocolate and chips. So it make all the sense. So we'll start off with something like, Professor Fitzgerald and his team studied more than 47,000 women. The women were asked to fill in questionnaire about their diet and about their suffering from acne. No link was found between acne and traditionally suspect foods such as chocolate and chips. Dr. Barron has long held that there is a link between diet and acne, and he convinced the professor to set up a study. So the sequence correct could be E, A, B, C, D. So you can see there are a lot of pairs which gone on correctly, and you're going to score good marks. So this is one way to find out the pairs and go with the flow. There are some more tips which can help you in doing it. So usually When you find out the pairs, there are two approaches which you can do. One is a grammar approach. So when we talk about Dr. Barron and in the next statement there is a he, we go back and see, okay, this is a link between diet and acne and this matter. So this matter is what matter? You again go back to the previous statement and you'll find out. So from a demonstrative pronoun point of view, where you're talking about this and then you go back and find out what do you mean by this. Or the other logic point is you find out reason. So for example, there was a reason, then there was a study, and then there was a result. So from logically how the story progresses, this can actually help you out to find the correct sequence. Some more tips for you. As I said, you can use demonstrative pronouns based on the context. So usually a personal pronoun we use he, she, they, them. Similarly, singular or plural, time, place, numerical. So you find out using grammar, or you find out using logic. In logic, usually the passages or the paragraphs which comes, they usually follow the cause and the effect. Something like this has happened, so further on this goes on. Or maybe there are two comparison, a parallel story goes on between A and between B. There could be a transition or a timeline where the story flows from earlier this had happened, currently this is going on, or something about the future. So these are few tips which can help you in building the story well. So on a quick note, you can find out, look for demonstrative nouns, use your logical thinking, double check whether this is exactly how the story moves on. So keep last 30 seconds to actually read out the whole passage in your mind quickly to see whether the story and the progression is making sense. And so this whole will give you a good understanding of how the reorder paragraph work. Though there are some precautions which you need to take care. Largely, one is the time management, because time is running out. There are no negative markings, so do not do the non-scoring work. Quickly arrange paragraph as per your understanding, and then reread it in your mind to see whether it is working fine. And of course, if you're not sure whether these are the two sentences which should come in the beginning or in the end, make sure to identify those pairs. If the pairing is correct, you will definitely get good marks in this. Okay, I hope all these tips will help you achieve your goal, and you will score good in your next exam.